Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haziq Hakimi, and here is my project, which is texting Angela. First of all, I'm using Arduino Uno board, which is the microcontroller. Microcontroller is the integrated circuit that control the electronic system in this project. Next, I'm using a LCD, which is 16 times 2 LCD board. Then here I got is potentiometer, which is to control the brightness of the LCD. And next, I have a ultrasonic sensor, which is ultrasonic sensor is used to detect the distance of the user from the LCD, which is from the sensor lah. Then next one I have a temperature sensor, which is its name is TMP36. What the names as the function as well, which is the it's detect the temperature of the surrounding. And next I have is the gas sensor, which is to detect either there is a smoke or not. So first next for the coding part, here is I'm including the liquid crystal library, which is the library of my LCD. And here I'm defining the pin 13 as start, which is here digital pin 13 as start. And next from here to here, which is I initialize my variable. Here is the grid function. I do a grid function. This is the grid function. And in the void setup, I'm defining the pin and set the pin 13 that I define as start before this as an input, which is it will receive a data the from the push button here. This is the push button. And next I calling the grid function that I have done earlier. As its name also, which is greeting, so it will greeting the user before it start for the game. The void loop, here I'm using a while loop in order to secure the in order for not this game is gonna starting automatically. So here I'm using this kind of loop in order to make sure that if the user want to play, so they need to press the start button here, After then, it will terminate this loop, because if you push the start button, it will read the start button. If you push the start button is equal to high, then it will display this message on the LCD. Then it will terminate the loop. And the game gonna start in this section. What I'm doing here is I give a distance in this is my function. I give the the digital pin, which is digital pin 8 and pin 7 to the give this function. And then I'm using a selection, which is if this is more than distance is more than 150, it will produce a far output in the far function. And then else it's gonna choose the close function. After then, it will delay for 4 seconds. Then it will go to the temperature sensing. This is the calculation to make sure that the data uh, that have which is the data, because this kind of line of code will read the input from our sensor and transform it in number. So this formula, I want to set the number it is equal to 0 and 200 set this is sensor minus 20, so it will set to 0 and to the highest value it will go is 338. Then I'm gonna times 3.04, which is there is a below number from that 3.04 after uh I have adjusted a little bit to make sure that the number is not to make sure that if I'm trying to simulate that and simulate the program, I'm changing the temperature. The temperature is showed that doesn't doesn't got an error or something like that. So from after that, I'm using the map function to mapping the number that I have before, which is I map the value from the temperature, which is from 0 to the highest value is 1023, and the 0 is to a negative 40 degrees Celsius, and 1023 is 125 degrees Celsius. After then, I'm gonna call this temperature condition function. Condition function also have a selection, which is if it's the the temperature exceed the certain temperature, and will give output, and then else it will it will create it's not the create it will generate another output. And the last one we got is the gas sensing, which is this line of code will read the number on the pin A0, which is pin the analog pin. Here is the smoking function, which is to detect the smoke, and there are also a selection on that selection block on that, and then it will delay. Then this is to terminate the loop. This is the cerebrin. Cerebrin is used to troubleshoot the data that given from the sensor. For this is the far function. If the ultrasonic sensor detect if the ultrasonic sensor detect that distance is more than 150, it will display on the LCD, which is did I make you mad? Why are you distant with me? Else it will execute a close function, which is did I make you miss me, and why you so close? And for the temperature condition, so if the temperature is exceed 37.6, so it will execute that. It will display on the LCD that I got a fever, please stay with me. And else it will say that I'm cold, can you hug me? So like that. And the next is the smoking function. So if the data from the sensor give value that exceed 200, it will print that it will display that you are smoking. Don't find me until you stop smoking. Else, if the value is below than 200, then it will execute, hey baby, you are not smoking, hi, and love you. The last one is the distance sensing function. This function is for the ultrasonic function, ultrasonic sensor. I'm sorry. ultrasonic sensor to detect the distance of object to another object by using this function. So this is the final program and what it's look like after we done the wiring and the coding part. So I'm gonna start. So it will greet the user. Then the user need to press the start button and let the Angela, yes, let the Angela hold you and sense you for 3 seconds. So the sensor have gained ni give the output while distance me. This is the temperature sensor output counts. I'm sorry, out counts. And this one is the gas sensor outcomes. So after it's finished display the three outcomes from the sensor, then the user need to press the start button again in order to play it again. So I'm going to simulate that two different outcomes. So I'm going to set the ultrasonic sensor to a little bit closer, and I'm going to set that it is hot. It is on the hot surrounding, and the gas sensor I'm going to say that there is a smoke like that. So I'm going to press the start button. So Angela will sense you. So it will produce that close function. It will execute the close function. Then it will the temperature undergoes the temperature temp con function. This is the outcome of gas sensor. And so please press the start button again to execute the programming again. So that's how my program works. That's how the wiring and the coding does. So I'm break here and thank you so much for watching.